Hi guys, so I got asked if I could make a video talking about how I got into my style and how to start dressing in a similar style. And so I thought I could kind of help you out with that if this is something that you're into. So I started off pretty young kind of dressing like this, and I wouldn't say I've always dressed this extremely like myself, but I did always kind of dress in a little bit of a darker fashion. So I would say a lot of my inspiration came from just different things of the time period. I was born in the very late 90s, and my family kind of raised me on different shows that came out during that time period. That being said, I watched a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I saw a lot of like black leather and combat boots, black lace, camisoles, and really knew that I liked that. But I would also say from a very young age I became obsessed with vampires. So they were always a pretty big inspiration for me, and I always really liked them. I would say I started dyeing my hair black and kind of going towards the darker style of things probably the age of 14, maybe a little bit after that. But I always knew that I wanted colored hair. I always knew that I liked darker things, and I will say that my style throughout time has just become more saturated rather than changing. So I've always just kind of been like this. However, I started being able to dress like myself and whatnot whenever I was 16. I started having like the black and white hair in this photo, but I think I was 14, and then kind of cycled through a few different hair colors trying to figure out what I thought would be best for me, and always just ended up going back to black and adding a little bit of like white or silver into it, which, if you know me, is kind of funny and kind of annoying because I'm a natural blonde, so my roots grow in every 4 weeks, and I have to do my roots every 4 weeks or I look like I'm balding. So whenever it comes to clothes, the way that I started off getting clothes is I would wait until Christmas time and I would ask for just certain things, whether it be like I wanted a new pair of boots and they happened to be Demanias or they happened to be platform boots. My everyday shoes for a while were these creepers, and they had spider webs that were embroidered into them, and then you lift up the bottom and they had a hidden coffin containment. That was my absolute favorite for years. And I feel like they were just a good accessory for any kind of outfit. I would wear them with jeans and a band t-shirt. For a while I wanted to very much not have the girly side of me. I would say my style is very feminine. I love dresses, skirts, corsets, flowy things, long flowy things, and lace are my absolute favorites. And I will use them as any kind of way to spice up an outfit. That being said, I would also say for a while I was wearing a lot of like tight pants, PVC leather. I loved just being able to show off different textures of fabric, and I think that's still something that I do today. So whenever I started getting my own money and started buying clothes but knew I couldn't afford the like big goth brands that everyone does go after, I would actually go to eBay and I would look up Gothic, elegant, and black, and that was what everything was kind of mainly based off of. So there were a bunch of like lacy black dresses that I would get, and I would pair them with some rip tights and then my creepers, or I'd pair them with some rip tights and my boots. Here is an example. This dress was from eBay and it was like 10 bucks. That being said, I for a while would not pay more than like $20-$30 for an outfit, and eBay was just my go-to, or going to thrift stores. If you look at my channel on here, you'll see that I have always kind of been a little bit of a DIY fan. I love changing things and making them a little bit mine, even if they are already made, because I am not the best at sewing, although I do try. I would say my next biggest staple piece for whenever I was younger was I had a leather jacket that was actually given to me by, I think it was my father. And I would paint on the back of it and use a leather spray paint to make it stay, just weatherproofing it, and then that would be another staple outfit for me. If you want to start doing more outfits that are a little bit more like girly, I definitely recommend eBay. I think they're amazing. Same with thrift stores. I have taken so many black velvet skirts from thrift stores and using different little hacks that I found to make them fit me. And I know that there is a thing where it's harder to find plus size clothing, but when it comes to velvet outfits, especially in my area, they're in abundance. So I will buy like a 3X velvet skirt. I will cut a triangle on the back, sew it to make it fit me, and then cut like a slit on the leg. There are some of them that you've seen on here that I have just like sewn chains to, whether I have leftover earrings that I've absolutely lost the other half to, and now I've made a chain skirt with like a little bat dangling from it. I just take things that I've either accidentally broken or have lost the other half to and make it into something new. So I would say upcycling is definitely a very big piece of dressing like this. Another thing that I did was I knew from a young age that I liked goth culture and I wanted to be able to really understand it. So even though I did kind of dress a little bit edgier, I spent months, if not years, researching into goth culture because I was, I want to say, a teenager in like the 2010 era. Yeah, that is very true. But that being said, most goth music came out 10 to 20 years prior. So there was tons of things for me to research. That being said, like Bauhaus is a good way to start, Sisters of Mercy, Susie and the Banshees, and just different things like that. They will lead you down to different roads, and one of my favorite things was I would plug one of those bands into Pandora, and they will actually come up with different bands that are similar that you would like. And what's interesting is whenever you go and look up band photos, you can get outfit inspirations from different bands that you like listening to. I really, really love the 69 Eyes. They are a goth band that is still making music to this day from Helsinki, Finland, and I have an entire leather jacket based around the Living Dead, but also with lyrics from one of their songs, Never Say Die. So music is a big influence on my fashion, and I think that's really cool. Continuing on with that, there were so many different types of goth, and I wanted to make sure that I knew what I liked and what I wouldn't necessarily see myself dressing as. As a kid, I always really liked the Addams Family. I was never a big fan of Wednesday, which is hilarious because everyone tells me, oh, you look like Wednesday, you look like Wednesday Addams, you remind me of her. I kind of hated her character. I just never liked it. But Morticia Addams was a completely different story and was always a fashion icon for me. Continuing on with that, I get really weird hyperfixations. So if I was hyperfixating on Morticia, then I kind of like would do some research and see where the character came from, where the character's inspiration for outfits came from, and how they kind of designed her. So that being said, obviously then I found Vampira, I found Elvira, and I've actually gotten to meet Elvira, and here's our little photo together. Cassandra Peterson's is such an absolute angel and a sweetheart. I adore her into my very being. Continuing on with that, finding different people throughout time that you could say is an inspiration to you definitely helps because you don't necessarily copy their style, but little things that you find that you really like from them and incorporate it with something else. So I loved the tight-fitting curvature look of all three of those women. I thought it was absolutely stunning, but I necessarily didn't have that figure as a teenager. I was very kind of like washboardy. I had a very athletic figure, definitely did not have a chest, and my legs were like sticks. So I got into waist training and corsetry because of that, and I kind of messed up because I didn't really look into the safety things that you're supposed to do. And you are supposed to like break in your corsets, kind of season them, and then slowly over time get into tight lacing. But I just went forward, got a steel-borne corset, and went into hard training with it. I would wear it 24/7, even sleep in my corset, and that is extremely dangerous. Don't do it. But that did give me the kind of inward hourglass figure that I have. Okay, so another thing that I would say I find kind of inspiration for my aesthetic is artwork. I will find different Victorian paintings or different any kind of artwork, honestly, and draw inspiration from that. I also hate admitting this, but I love using Pinterest to find outfit ideas. There was one outfit that I realized I had pretty much everything in my closet that I needed, but I just needed a cheap Amazon corset that this girl had, and it was like $16 and almost created a completely new feeling outfit. I would say a good point if you want to dress in this style is definitely don't be afraid of layering. Layering is such an important thing whenever it comes to really building a fun kind of Gothic style outfit. Like today, I'm wearing a vintage nightgown. On top, I have a black lace duster that actually opens in the middle, but then I have a mesh corset kind of bringing it all together, and then just like 2 rings and a necklace. It is a very simple outfit, but because it has so many layers, it feels more elegant. I would definitely say that my personal style is reared towards a romantic goth or a just gothic base in general, not so much goth as the subculture, which there is a difference on, because not everything that is gothic is goth, and not everything that's goth is gothic. Which is kind of interesting whenever you like sit down and think about it or even try to explain it, but it's definitely something to look into. But I would say just get a bunch of base pieces that would work really well with a bunch of different things. So like black slip dresses, and then you can pair that with a mesh overlay dress or a lace overlay dress, and then very simple but kind of statement piecey jewelry. So like this is a simple ring that I got, but it is also somewhat of a statement piece because of the ruby aspect to it. And this is a very simple ankh necklace, but it is what I wear almost every single day. And also just corsets. Underbust corsets are a staple of my clothes for whenever I actually want to dress like myself and I don't have to go to work. That being said, I unfortunately am not able to dress up like this every day. I would say maybe like once or twice a month am I able to fully dress like myself, unless I'm doing a photo shoot. A photo shoot, I almost kind of like dress to the nines, and I try to tell people I've got 2 different closets. One is my like princessy gothic closet, and then one is my work closet. So the work closet is like an everyday spooky. It's like band tees, it's ripped jeans, it's like chain belts, but then my truly Kelly fashion is definitely more geared towards Morticia Adams style things. I hope that this helped. I feel like I definitely went on a little bit of a rant, but developing your style is so personal and it's so fun. I would say that I am constantly evolving whenever it comes to my style, and I think that that's just really fun. I am going to link and show just a few different things that I'm not really going to be on camera for, but that way you guys can see it, and then I'll also do like a little outfit of the day, so that way you can kind of see the full outfit and see what I mean about like pairing a bunch of different basic outfit pieces to make a good outfit together. Alright. Thank you guys so much for asking questions. I always love hearing what you have to say and what you want to know about. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask, and I'll see you next time. Bye!